Oh, hi there, my creative fellas. Justin Designs here, as always, and I would like to take this opportunity to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in 2022. And I also would like to take this moment to thank you for all your continued support, because it is people like you who make my job a pleasure and keep me motivated all the time. It's been such a pleasure spending time with you throughout the year, and I'm sure it will stay like this forever in the years ahead. May your new year be filled with prosperity and success and all the happiness you deserve. Merry Christmas, everyone. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I made my Christmas special artwork, which I would like to name Too Many Wishes, because there's just simply too many wishes in 2022, and that's what I think. And this piece took about 4 hours with a ton of layers, and I'm gonna take you over how I made it and put everything together. This is not gonna be a full-fledged tutorial, this is just a speed art to show you my workflow and to give you some tips along the way, so let's dive right in. So let me show you what I got. I have 3 different layers representing the walls and the floor, just to, make myself clear here. Then I have myself, I have a sofa, I have a table, I have a fireplace, and I have a floor. And on top of that, I have a carpet, a Christmas tree, a Santa frame on the wall, some Christmas garland, a shovel beside the fireplace, 2 candles and some more garland for decoration. I got a sock, a bag of gifts, and some more gifts on top of the table, and I'm gonna blend them all together and add some more elements as we go along the way. First things first, I don't like the blue shirt I'm wearing, so why not replace it with a Christmas jacket? And to do that, I'm just going to paint over it as usual, but this time I'm going to use the folds and creases of the shirt itself to paint my own folds and creases. I'm gonna use them as a reference, so this is how we're gonna work smart this time. Just between me and you watching this video, that's not my real body. Yes, I did a head replacement. I'm too lazy to take a photo like that. Don't tell nobody. Once I'm done with the shirt, it's time to paint a Christmas hat. Yeah, you might be like, why don't you use some stock photos for the hat? There are plenty of hat stock photos out there, but I don't like using stock photos these days. It's just not my thing, so I try to paint as much as I can to improve my abilities. And the hat is just a little piece of outfit, so I don't really need to start with grayscale. I go straight with the colors. Matching the value of all these different elements using some curves adjustment layer, and I'm using a check layer to see the light values. Changing the color of the pants to green color and using a solid adjustment layer, clipping it to the pants and changing the blend mode to multiply. That's how you colorize light stuff. And then using the pattern adjustment layer to add a Christmas pattern to the outfit. And I think it looks cool playing around with the blend modes, and hard light is the blend mode that gives me the best results, so I'm sticking with that. And also colorizing the sofa to match the color palette. And one thing I didn't like about it was that leather shiny material that it had, so I'm painting over it to remove that shininess and give it some more kind of silk fabric. There we go, now that looks a lot better without the shine. And it's time to make me sit here, so painting proper shadows is definitely the key here. And I'm taking my time to paint shadows on all these elements wherever I feel like I need it, and I'm trying to match the light value as much as possible, because remember, the light value is just the most important thing. Before you move on to color grade and changing the colors of your stuff, you need to get your values right, otherwise your manipulation will look weird. So work on your knowledge about light and shadows, it'll really pay off in the long term. And I have found some wood planks and wood textures, and I'm going to use them as the walls, so I'm bringing them to the scene. But remember, you have to put anything in perspective, so don't just throw anything into your manipulation and expect it to look okay. You have to match the perspective, especially with stuff like buildings and households and all that stuff. They really need to be in perspective, and they really need to be taken care of. And I have some weird perspective going on here, so I really need to be careful, otherwise the whole manipulation will look slumpy. And not to mention, a black layer set to color dodge blend mode will always take care of your lighting. Goof. And to paint highlights on all these objects around the candles, I'm simply using the blend if technique. So fill a layer with your highlight color and apply the blend if to it, and then you can create a mask and only paint on the areas that you desire. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, as some guys say it. After the shadows, highlights are the most important thing. When there's a light source, there are always gonna be some highlights. So this interaction between the light and the object is so important, and you have to always pay attention to that. There might be some multiple light sources, so you're gonna have some multiple highlights. That's when I say, educate yourself about light. That is going to pay off, really. Oh, and I think I have talked a lot, so I'm going to spare you my voice and leave you alone with the music. Enjoy, and I'll be back soon to give you some more commentary. Did you enjoy watching the painting process of that gift bag? Because I enjoyed it pretty much as I was painting it, and I have brought in more gifts as you can see, and I'm gonna let them float in the air because that's my thing. And I'm gonna give them some form by painting shadows on top of them. Painting the form shadow is just as simple as painting with a black brush on any object you want. Of course, it's gotta be a soft brush. Take the direction of the light into consideration and paint the shadows correctly, and then move over the highlights. This is the process that needs to be done in this order. First, shadows, and then highlights. Don't go the other way. It's not gonna work. Have that Christmas ball and this snowman on the floor. Everything is going to be a repetition of the previous steps. You have to repeat what you learned once over and over and again, and only through this repetition you're going to master it until the point that it becomes second nature. You don't have to think about it anymore. It flows naturally. The beard is just like an upside down head. Like you turn the head around and it's the beard, so there's really no difference in it. The same process that goes for painting the hair goes for painting the beard and the mustache. And I always find it difficult to paint stuff that are white. As we're getting close to the end of this manipulation, you can see that I'm sucking it up, and slowly I'm going to start adding those overlays, light leaks, and everything that I want to add on top of the whole manipulation. These are the final steps of every manipulation, and I start color grading gradually. I don't rush to color grade. Sometimes I take an hour or even more just to color grade my manipulation because I believe the color grade is just the glue that puts every element of your composition together. If your color grade is good, then maybe you can get off with even a bad manipulation, but if your color grade sucks, then even a great manipulation will look awful. So really invest your time in it and experiment all the different methods that you can color grade your photos. Of course, I have my own thing. I color grade with Color Lookup, and one day maybe I'll give away these LUTs because I know they are so powerful. Before I found my style in color grading, I tried out many things. I color graded with curves, I color graded with gradient maps, I used levels, I used color balances, I used photo filters, I used selective colors, I used channel mixers, and many more methods. Finally, I came back to the LUTs, and just to be more flexible, I created my own LUTs, and these days they can get everything done. So, I encourage you to invest time in learning different color grading techniques and finally come up with your own thing, because at the end of the day, it does not matter how you do something. As long as it looks good, it's okay. It doesn't need to be right, it needs to be beautiful. This is art and it's subjective. There's no right or wrong. If it looks good to your eyes, it'll look good to everybody's eyes. We're getting close to the end. I'm going to spare you the rest of this video because it's just going through the Camera Raw filter, and I'm going to show you the final product as you've seen at the beginning of the video, and I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll catch you again next week with an awesome tutorial and some more awesome tips for you. Take care and peace out.